Salam keluarga Malaysia and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Azlani and you're watching Updates at Noon. Making the headlines today, PM witnesses signing off 9 MAUs at World Government Summit. And 400,000 set to commute between Johor and Singapore. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa attended the World Government Summit 2022 that took place in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, in conjunction with the Expo 2020 Dubai. Datuk Seri Semasa posted on his Facebook account saying that the summit, with the theme shaping future governments, was also attended by UAE Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, who is also the ruler of Dubai. He said the two-day summit, which began on 29th March, gathered various global leaders as well as experts in various fields from all over the world. It also highlights various issues, including those of global, economic and administrative importance, through more than the 100 sessions held. He said with this summit, global leaders can discuss future cooperation to face extraordinary challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister arrived in Dubai on Tuesday after a 3-day official visit to Qatar that began last Saturday. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Semasa witnessed the signing and exchange of 9 memorandums between Malaysian companies and their international business partners. The signing and exchange ceremony involved 5 memorandums of understandings, MOU, 2 memorandums of business exploration, MOBE, as well as 1 memorandum of agreement, MOA, and a letter of intent. The Premier, in his speech at the appreciation ceremony of Expo 2020 Dubai, said he was proud of the level of business done by Malaysia at the World Expo. The MOU between Mazda and Randhill Utilities Berhad was for the proposed decarbonisation of the electricity industry in Malaysia, while the one between Perbadanan Prima Malaysia and Sani Construction Industry Development, Sdn Berhad, aims to deliver fast and quality affordable housing for the M40 income group using Sani's IBS technology. The MOU between AK International LLC and European Wellness Academy, Asia Pacific Sdn Berhad, aims to establish the world's first halal-based centres of excellence for biological regenerative medicine and education in Malaysia. There were also MOUs signed to build the world's first halal manufacturing of supplements and biopharma therapeutics, and to develop the world's first halal-based, digitally driven wellness tourism linkages between the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and Malaysia. The MOU between Pharmaniaga Manufacturing Berhad and Prime Medical Store LLC will serve as the foundation for establishing the framework that will grant Prime Medical the exclusive rights to register, import, promote, market, sell and distribute PMB's pharmaceutical products in the UAE. The MOU between Hartman Clinics and COVID and Medicare on support incorporation aims to purchase and market a product called the Immuno X Booster. About 400,000 travellers are expected to commute between Malaysia and Singapore through the Johor Causeway and Link Kedua during the first week of the reopening of the country's borders starting tomorrow. Johor Menteri Besar Dato' Onn Hafiz Ghazi said all the counters at the Customs, Immigration and Quarantine CIQ complexes, namely the Sultan Abu Bakar Complex, KSAB, here and the Sultan Iskandar building in Johor Bahru, will be fully operational to avoid congestion. Dato' Onn Hafiz said the Johor Information Department will provide infographics which will be posted on social media so that travellers know the SOP and requirements, and the most important thing is for them to download the MySejahtera application before entering Malaysia. Dato' Onn Hafiz said nearly 2,700 officers and personnel from various departments and agencies, including the Immigration Department, Customs Department and the Police, the Road Transport Department and the State Health Department, will be on duty round the clock at the CIQ complexes. He said Tunku Mahkota Johor Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim had also agreed for 130 volunteers from Southern Volunteers to be placed at the 2 CIQ complexes to assist Malaysians as well as travellers. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said the road charge exemption will help to solve the congestion problem following high vehicle volume which is expected especially ahead of the Ramadan month. He said a total of 191,263 vehicles from Singapore have registered to install the radio frequency identification RFID tag for the vehicle entry permit VEP on their vehicles, of which 65,263 vehicle owners have received the tags. On 25th March, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and his Singaporean counterpart Lee Hsien Loong in a joint statement announced that both countries agreed to fully open the land border for fully vaccinated travellers without the need to undergo quarantine or undertake a COVID-19 test before departure and upon arrival, beginning 1st April in line with the transition into the endemic phase. The Royal Malaysia Police PDRM will not compromise and will take stern action against its personnel who refuse to accept reports on domestic violence. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department Director Datuk Seri Abdul Jalil Hassan said he viewed seriously the claim by the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development last Monday on police personnel refusing to receive reports on domestic violence. In a statement, he said since the Domestic Violence Act 1994 came into force on 1st June 1996, PDRM has issued several instructions on the handling of investigations involving cases of domestic violence cases which are to be complied with at all levels. This includes disciplinary action against members who refuse to accept police reports on domestic violence. In this regard, he said the police had requested KPWKM for more information on the matter to facilitate investigation and action could be taken those involved. Coming up next, missing 8-year-old girl safely found. Malaysia should urgently reform its social protection system to ensure the people would not face serious financial hardship in the future. Bank Negara Malaysia BNM Governor Tan Sri Nur Shamsia Muhammad Yunus made such a call after the recent Employees Provident Fund EPF data showed that around 6.1 million EPF members have less than 10,000 ringgit retirement savings in their accounts. And among them, 3.6 million have less than 1,000 ringgit.
The pandemic has also been a reminder to us, again, that we must urgently reform our social protection system. It will not be easy, nor can this happen overnight. But it needs to start now.
The Central Bank Governor said this in a virtual press conference in conjunction with the publication of BNM's annual reports. She added that now that the economy is showing signs of recovery, the people should slowly start to rebuild their financial buffers. Meanwhile, Deputy Governor Jessica Chew said while the central bank recognized the withdrawals would help many who are struggling to get back on their feet from the pandemic and the recent floods, the numbers from the EPF data are really worrying. She said it was imperative to have a policy that could have a proportionate response to the situation that the country is currently in. Police cripple a Bitcoin mining syndicate with the seizure of Bitcoin machines worth 420,000 ringgit at a premise in Star City, Mentaka, Pahang. Temelloh Police Chief ACP Muhammad Azhar Muhammad Yusof said the Criminal Investigation Department also arrested 2 men aged 30 and 38 during the raid on the premise. According to ACP Muhammad Azhar, police seized 82 Bitcoin mining machines, internet modem and mobile phones.
Anggaran nilai rampasan adalah lebih kurang RM420,000 dan anggaran kerugian yang ditanggung oleh pihak TNB dianggarkan lebih kurang RM125,000. Kedua-dua suspek ni kini ditahan riman selama 4 hari sehingga 2 April dan kes disiasat di bawah Seksyen 379/427 Kanun Keseksaan dan Seksyen 37(3) Akta Bekalan Elektrik 1990. Jika disabit kesalahan, boleh dikenakan penjara selama tempoh yang boleh sampai 7 tahun atau dengan denda atau dengan kedua-duanya sekali.
An 8-year-old girl who was feared to have disappeared from a school in Cheras yesterday has been found safe. This was confirmed by Cheras District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Izam Jaafar, who said the child was found in Bandar Tun Razak. Earlier, the disappearance of Sofia Rania, a pupil of Sekolah Kebangsaan Taman Midah 1, Cheras, had gone viral on social media after her mother could not find her when she went to fetch her at school yesterday evening. Meanwhile, Sofia's mother, Rayana Muhammad Noor, 41, denied the allegation that her daughter had got the wrong van by mistake before she was reported missing, as the family never used the transport service. Rayana revealed that her daughter informed her that she had been asked by a man to board a van before dropping her off at the lobby of an apartment. Rayana said as she received a call from the police at 9:30 p.m. informing her that her daughter had been found safe. She also thanked the police and all parties who helped spread the word about the disappearance of her child until she was found. A female trainee pilot was slightly injured when the training plane she was handling skidded off the runway while landing at the Langkawi International Airport last night. Kedah Fire and Rescue Department JBPM Director Sayani Saidan said they received an emergency call regarding the incident at 8:15 p.m. before a team from the Langkawi Fire and Rescue Station was rushed to the scene. In a statement, Sayani said the incident involved a Diamond 14 commercial training aircraft that skidded off the runway and caused the 28-year-old victim to suffer minor injuries to the waist and knees on both legs. The victim was removed by the fire brigade and was sent to the Sultanah Maliha Hospital in Langkawi. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAAM, said the Diamond DA40D-9M HMW aircraft, operated by HM Aerospace Sdn Bhd, lost control before skidding off the runway while landing. CAAM Chief Executive Officer Dato' Captain Chester Vu said the incident caused damage to the aircraft structure, but the aircraft was removed at 10:25 p.m. to ensure the safety of runway operations. The runway was open to commercial flights at 10:29 p.m. The Air Accident Investigation Bureau under the Ministry of Transport will conduct investigations in accordance with the Civil Aviation Regulations 2016. The Youth and Sports Ministry, KBS, has lifted a restriction on children under 12 years old, allowing them into stadiums. Its Minister Dato' Sri Ahmad Faizal Azumu also said that eating and drinking in stadiums are now allowed as well, saying it is in line with the transition to the endemic phase that begins tomorrow. However, Dato' Sri Ahmad Faizal sternly reminded that the standard operating procedure SOP of wearing face masks, if not eating and drinking as well as physical distancing, are still compulsory. The National Security Council MKN will provide details on the easing of more SOPs in the near future.
Kami pihak KBS amat mengalu-alukan apabila stadium dan pusat kejohanan dibenarkan untuk para penonton untuk makan dan minum, termasuk juga anak-anak berumur bawah 12 tahun juga telah dibenarkan masuk. Ini adalah kelonggaran-kelonggaran yang tentunya disambut baik oleh orang ramai.
Ahead of the AFF Futsal Championship 2022 taking place in Bangkok, Thailand this Saturday, National Men's Futsal coach Chew Chun Yong expressed hopes that the combination of 6 new faces and their seniors can form synergy as early as in their first match against Cambodia. Chun Yong explained that the previous 2 friendly matches held locally participated by his team was not enough to judge the players' performances.
We know that international friendly and compared to local friendly is totally different punya cara main, and also the speed, the intensity memang agak berbeza. So itu yang agak disadvantage dekat kita, but I still put it very positive with this players' experience, the desire and also itu punya semangat dalam untuk AFF kali ini after 3 years. So I believe we can give a positive performance.
Speaking to reporters at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA before departing for Thailand, he said the team targeting a top 3 finish so as to qualify for the AFC Futsal Asian Cup in Kuwait in September. The 6 new players called include a Pulau Pinang top scorer in the Malaysian Futsal Premier League, Ikmal Najmi Ismail, and Muhammad Aidil Shahri Rosli from Selangor, TOT United. That concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, PM witnesses signing of 9 MOUs at World Government Summit. Tune in to News at 10 coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM on My Previews channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM Click. I'm Azlan Yadani. Goodbye for now.